You ever woke up after a night of excessive drinking, only to find yourself in your own filth, disgusted by the terrible decisions you've made in the past 24 hours? Well, luckily for you, I now have an easier way for you to relive that in the short time span of just 2 hours by watching today's movie, The Golden Glove, or Der Goldene Handschuh, since, this is a German movie based on the novel of the same name, Der Goldene Handschuh. Directed by Fatih Akin, who I personally wasn't familiar with, at all. But this specific movie came on my radar after it received, a little bit of buzz in specific film circles. Basically for being ugly filth. And, well, doesn't that sound like something we just have to take a look at? So, let's do that. The Golden Glove, or Zum Goldenen Handschuh, is the name of this pub, and this is not the type of establishment you want to be spending your Saturday nights at. It's the type of place where patrons buy schnapps by the bottle, where people don't look up for brawls. It's a place where former Nazi soldiers piss all over you, and where the personnel has to check whether or not their guests are still alive. Basically, the seedy underbelly where people drink to forget. So yeah, not ideal for a fun night out, especially not if you're looking to pick up some cuties. Unless you're Fritz Honka, star of today's show. Although, even he has to see if the women he picks up are gonna be able to make it back to his place before passing out. And Fritz Honka, he was an actual German serial killer, and Zum Goldenen Handschuh is an actual pub that still exists today in Hamburg's red light district, where you can apparently come for some good priced drinks. Nice? However, this is also where Fritz used to pick up his victims back in the 1970s, and that's what we get here in this movie. And they kinda nailed this whole 70s look and feel. But really, it looks great, but that's also exactly where the beauty of this movie ends. Because this is one ugly motherfucker. And I'm not just talking about the characters. Yes, they're ugly, and I'm not trying to sound judgmental as in but come on, look at these creatures. And that's actually just a major compliment to the movie's makeup department, because really, you barely recognize the actors when they're out of their movie makeup. Awesome job done right there. But it's also just absolutely ugly in its story and portrayal of what an actual serial killer is and does. And as weird as it may sound, that's probably what I appreciate most about this movie. See, there's a bunch of movies out there based on the lives of real serial killers, and some of them are, they're pretty cool, yeah, in a way perhaps glorifying these characters, which, if you stop to think about that for a second, is super weird. I mean, these people killed actual human beings. It's not cool. And, well, that is what The Golden Glove does right. This movie is not cool. It's not fun. As some of you might know, I feel like I've seen my fair share of disturbing movies, but it had honestly been a while since I saw a movie that left me with a feeling like, ugh, fuck. The cliche saying of, I really needed a shower after watching that comes to mind. So yeah, let's take another look. Don't expect too many gory killings or brutal rapings. You actually spend most of the movie's running time looking at depressed people drinking their meaningless lives away in a post-war Germany. Fritz, he picks out the most gullible and brings them back to his shabby apartment. I love this absolutely rancid shot of his toilet. He is actually kind of a pickup artist, although granted, it doesn't take too much to charm these ladies. So back at his place he tries to have sex with them, which more often than not results in him killing them. And even though it doesn't happen all that often in the movie, they really only needed one or two of these scenes to get the point across and make you feel like shit. I did actually laugh this one time when he threw in some air fresheners, these pine-scented ones, in the part of the wall in his apartment where he's storing all of his victims' body parts. It's like, But yeah, that's kind of beside the point. So yeah, close to 2 hours of just filth and depravity, which obviously makes this quite an uneasy, difficult watch, but due to its unglorifying nature, it's an important serial killer movie at the same time. It's not something I'll be rewatching anytime soon, but I'm glad it's out there. Definitely helps that production-wise it's pretty top-notch. It's very well shot. The highly detailed set and production design is fantastic in that you can basically just smell the sets. And finally, the performances are great. Fritz Honka, he was around the age of 40 when he committed these murders. Jonas Dassler, the actor portraying him, he was only in his early 20s and, well, he managed to pull off quite a convincing job. Excellent performance. Most of them are great, actually. So yeah, props to everybody involved for going along with the director's vision for this movie. Yeah, that's the Golden Glove for you. A serial killer movie that just is. There's no moral message here. If anything, perhaps the message that serial killers are shit. Which, again, if you stop to think about it for a second, shouldn't have to be a message. But then again, in a day and age where someone might potentially tend to glorify the occasional Ted Bundy or so, it's not an unwelcome reminder. But yeah, no, this movie, it's just certified uncut rawness that shows the ugly truth. And not just about this one specific serial killer, but also, you know, in a way it serves as a kind of time capsule, you know, to a time and place where sad, depressed people drank their lives away. Obviously, quite hard to recommend this one, but, you know, if you're in the mood for a disturbing movie that'll make you feel like shit, I mean, come on, haven't we all been there? You can't really go wrong with this one. Cheers, guys. Have a nice day.